Burning bridges is my specialty. Dating dads is my fatality.
I'm a Broadway bear, and I'm here to take center stage. Hello!
I'm Hunter Hardin.
And I'm Papa the Zombear.
And welcome to the Real Housebears.
Oh, who's that coming into the studio right now? I don't know who that is in the studio.
Hi.
Hi?
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Hello?
Hello.
Welcome to the Real Housebears.
Podcast?
Yeah.
That's nice. I'm going snowshoeing.
Are you snowshoeing to your next photo shoot with Ford Modeling Agency?
I'm honestly really stressed.
Maybe.
Oh, God. I wasn't prepared for an interview.
I'm feeling really uncomfortable.
Okay, I love you. Bye.
Oh, that was rough. That was rough. You warned me a little. You're like, you're going to have to really... I was like, I don't know what he's talking about.
I told you, you're going to have to really hold the conversation. Because when
I didn't know what you meant.
Meredith was in the car with Brooks, every answer was a one-word answer back.
Yes, I even have notes about that, too. Like, even when he's like, are you excited to go snow skiing?
Are you so excited to go snowshoeing?
And the only thing I didn't have, which would have sold it, is my
if you had your ski goggles.
my ski goggles,
really
which are in
gotten
the shed. It would have really sold, but those gay glasses I had on.
Well, I love it. I love Brooks, I love Meredith, and I love your impersonations of both. You know what I don't love is that we woke up this morning with no water in our building.
And today is my shower and wash my hair day.
And you're leaving tomorrow.
And I'm leaving tomorrow early.
Needed to do laundry today. And looks like it's not going to be fixed anytime soon because a sinkhole, collapsed right around the corner from our house and broke our post. So thank God this podcast isn't in smell-o-vision.
Gross.
It is in spook-vision.
It is spooky
because we have a
vision.
black light on that you could kind of see in
Not
the video.
so much. Let's do this.
There you go.
There you go. Ooh, now it's
spooky
spooky.
and haunted.
So awesome for that. But again, we're here.
We're queer,
and we're
and
doing
this
this
podcast.
Stinky or not. And you might have to arrive stinky when you go to Nashville this weekend.
Yes, y'all. This Friday, maybe today, you're listening to it on... Yeah, you're going to come out with this on Friday, right? Tomorrow?
Oh, no, it's coming out today.
Oh, well, tomorrow is Friday the 13th because it's Jason's birthday.
Is it?
It is Friday the 13th.
Oh, that's right.
Jason Voorhees, and I have a really hot, sexy Jason Voorhees shirt. He's like, "Hey, what's up? What's up?
Get it, Jason.
I'm in the mountains. Let's get stabbed."
I'm buff in the mountains.
I need him a little bit hairier, but that's all right. Smooth is cool.
So if you're a listener in Nashville,
I'll be there.
go to meet up tomorrow. And then next weekend, you're going to be in Houston.
I'm going to be at Glue Weekend, and I'll be dancing Saturday night. That's Saturday night. I don't know where.
All right, be on the lookout for that.
But I'll be there all weekend.
And then the weekend of November 10th, my birthday weekend,
Yes.
we'll both be in Portland
It's my birthday.
for Barracuda.
Ooh, Barracuda. You know, today is the 1 month before your birthday.
It's my birthday. It's my birthday.
Oh my gosh, you should have never told me
It's
that.
in my Facebook memories of you posting how much of a month you're going to be.
I haven't
'cause
looked
it's the
at my
12th.
memories
You
yet.
would
I
have
didn't
found
even-
out sooner or later.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I have a whole
my
month.
gosh. Yeah.
Birthday to me.
I have a whole month to make it all about me.
Yeah, this will be fun.
It's my birthday. I'm going to Stassi it up.
My birthday is a really big deal. To my birthday. My birthday. It's my birthday. My birthday. It's my birthday. My birthday. My actual birthday. My idea of what my birthday should be. For my f***ing birthday party. It's my birthday. It's my f***ing birthday. Because I was born today.
The other day, we went to our favorite local, well, it's not a local chain, but our Black Bear Diner. And we got to Kim, who is now hashtag Housebears famous, was our server, and she was so sweet, and she is a Housewives watcher.
Just
and,
not a Housebears listener.
Well, she took a picture so she would remember to be a Housebears listener.
Man, we are just throwing out these Real Housebears famous hashtags just to basically anybody
she said
nowadays.
she's going to listen.
That lady on the airplane, the lady at the Black Bear
Kim
Diner.
said she's going to listen.
If I don't get a message from Kim on our message boards, I will never make somebody Housebears famous.
Kim,
again.
DM us and let us know that you started listening. But what if she went back and started listening from episode 1? Could you imagine?
Please don't.
Please don't ever do that.
I don't want to jinx myself and listen to old ones.
Oh, it's awful.
I don't want to.
Awful.
Yeah, I don't want to.
It took us a good, at least 12 episodes.
And it's got like a good 500 listens more than any other episode we have because everyone started with it. But
that's why I don't trust human beings, and that is facts. I don't trust human beings.
Just you guys start with like our mid-season, like the middle of our whole career.
Yeah. Start with like Salt Lake City season 2.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good
That might be a good place to start. That might be at the beginning.
So thank you, Kim, for great service, lovely conversation, and thanks for listening, Kim. We're trusting you, and taking your word for it. That's why you're now hashtag Housebears famous.
I'm not saying this to Kim because she had flawless makeup, flawless everything. But there's somebody else there that works there that I hope that this can just be a shooting star message, maybe like nice criticism. Don't layer 12 eyelashes onto each other to the point where you literally cannot even open your eyes. It looks like a caterpillar crawled on top of her eyelid and died.
Yeah, seriously, the girl who was the hostess at the Black Bear Diner, I've seen drag queens who have worn multiple layers of eyelashes.
Just layered them all.
I have never seen anyone wear this many layers of eyelashes. You're right. It looked like a caterpillar laid on her eyelids, and she couldn't keep her eyes open, and they were crooked too.
And they were so curved up and so thick that you couldn't even see through them.
I've never seen it.
It looked like it was like black eyes. It was crazy.
I am
ridiculous.
all about fake eyelashes. Like I love.
We call them illegal. Like when they're huge and big, we call them illegal.
Love some illegal lashes.
Illegal lashes.
But these were death row lashes.
Like
if big luscious lashes are illegal lashes, this girl was wearing death row lashes.
Oh my god! For real, they were intense. So just like. I don't want to call anybody out, so it definitely wasn't Kim.
It was not.
It was not Kim.
Kim was lovely.
No, it was somebody else there. That you know what? The only way she has to have only listened to podcasts because she can't see a television. So maybe she does listen to us. Because you were gorgeous without those eyelashes. Those eyelashes were intense, girl.
So Kim, you can relay that message for us if you want. Oh my gosh.
We are horrible.
I just like things to be right. Especially if you know better, do better. Don't act like you don't know.
Well, we're not as bad as Mary Cosby. Y'all.
Listen, oh shoot.
Was it like an episode or two ago? I was like, keep Mary Cosby on the show for eternity.
Yeah, listen, and I was against it. I've been against it since day one, but then you turned me last second, and I was like, okay, I enjoy her craziness. But she is the meanest, rudest person. You cannot win no matter what with her. I do not want to ever meet her.
After this week's Watch What Happens Live.
Oh my god. Oh, she just was... She can't help it.
She didn't even know. She'd be like, Andy, you have to tell me if I'm being rude. I'm like, no, you should know that you're being rude. Do you not have any type of moral compass, whatsoever, Pastor Mary?
I just don't understand how she has like a following. Like, could you imagine coming to her with a problem?
Well, I don't know how she could possibly, first of all, insinuate that a size 14 is a bad thing.
Oh, yeah.
By saying that Gucci wouldn't create a corset in size 14. But then on top of that, if you see Heather in person, you know that she's not even close to a size 14, especially, anytime that we've ever seen her,
Yeah.
And it looks like she's even a bit more snatched than she was before.
Well, you see, the only thing she's eaten this season is snow.
Right? So not only is Mary fat-shaming people who are size 14s, but she's also saying that Heather is bigger than she actually is. And then she slipped up and said, when Andy asked her about Heather's necklace, Mary goes, "No, I said I didn't like her choir."
Her choir.
Now, I said just a few weeks ago, I would love for Mary to come to rehearsal and make fun of it and make fun of me, but not my choir. Like, you can say I'm confident in who I am as a choir director, but these are my people, my family.
Well, I just hear a choir off now.
Yeah, listen.
Come on, bring your best, Mary.
Seriously, my choir will sing against your choir any day.
And I will bring my earmuffs when your choir plays, Mary, because
Any
that
day.
was horrible.
Not
that your choir was bad, it's you're a bad choir director.
So
Period.
You came after my friend Heather, and you came after my choir. I'm done.
She probably came after me too.
Yes. Thank God, Lisa. You made it. Well, found a way to make it about you.
Thank
too.
you. Thank you.
Thank God, Lisa.
Thank you. I identified a lot with Lisa in this
Bless
episode.
your heart.
Because, those same things happen to me. Like, what about me?
Where are my accolades?
You are a little bit of a mix of several of the ladies, but that was a very Lisa Barlow, Hunter Harden moment for sure. What about me?
Well, the rumors are true.
Oh my gosh. Well, back at the Bower Lodge, we're still at the Après Ski party in honor of Lisa being a successful.
In honor of Lisa. I wish I just had a Lisa Barlow ice sculpture that has her hand out where you pour it through her mouth and it comes out her hand.
And then it has a speaker that just has Lisa Barlow.
I love that. I love that.
I want that. Well, Angie K pulls Meredith aside after just hearing from Whitney and Monica that the word on the street in Salt Lake City is that Hot Sean hooks up with guys and Meredith is the one spreading the rumor.
Which technically she didn't spread the rumor. She said there was a rumor. Yeah, but she didn't see what the rumor was.
Listen, there is not a moment on camera at all. This episode, last episode, the episode before, there's not a moment on camera, at least, where Meredith is spreading this rumor.
We spread the rumor, too, on our podcast. Remember when first we found out Sean was a hairdresser? We're like, gay. And he has to deal with that his whole life.
Yeah.
And so we're bad for doing that, but it's just funny.
The Angie K, listen, if you even go somewhat low at all, she'll go as low as she possibly can. She fires back with, "We all know that you're the one who's spreading your legs." And again, Meredith's like, "I know rumors. I haven't spread rumors. And if you're not going to speak with me with respect, bye.
She didn't say that. She said, "I know rumors. I haven't said any rumors. I just know rumors."
That's what I was saying.
You misspoke there.
Sorry about that.
I was really hoping it was just a drunken comment.
Well, Meredith goes to sit next to Lisa and Mary, and Lisa Barlow clearly has no idea what's going on. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad we're all here. Aren't you so glad everyone's..." I was like, have you had you just ended up this fight with Monica, and you're just in the best mood.
She's trying her best. This is her celebration.
But you can't get away. You can't get away from a rabid dog.
Don't say that.
Angie K follows Meredith over there. If you're going to talk about my marriage, you're going to address it. And then I kind of forgot about the blowjobs for jazz tickets rumor.
I've heard Lisa gave a blowjob for a courtside seat.
Me too. when she brought it up.
I was kind of refreshed. I was like, oh, thanks for...
And Lisa's like, shut up. Bitch, don't bring me into this. She's like, I'm trying to balance this years of friendship and also keeping my morals.
And I don't want people talking about the blowjobs anymore.
Shut up.
People just stop talking about the blowjobs.
Poor Lisa's having like PTSD from last year's attacks from Meredith.
And then Angie K and Meredith just really kind of yell at each other across the room. Heather sits down next to Whitney. Monica comes over and, just kind of fills everyone in. So really, again, the only person who has said this rumor on camera is Monica.
Yeah.
So Mary's just really mad that she wasted another outfit on this event.
That was the ugliest outfit I've ever seen on anybody.
We talked about it last week. I liked it.
Ill-fitting. It was gross.
It was ill-fitting.
It was stupid. Made her look stupid. Made her look like she was getting packaged up for some kind of UPS ball.
Oh my God! I just saw on your notes in capital letters, "F you, Mary."
Hey, we're not even there yet. Get out of my notes.
Drew to my eye.
You quit looking at my secret notes. That's insane. That is insane. Where is our secrecy in our marriage?
Well, Mary is obviously there wasn't enough food for her, even though there was a full crate bar. There were pizzas everywhere,
flatbread pizzas, and but first of all, Mary's just so irritated in the first place. There's no food. She wasted her homemade dress on this event. And now she has to wait for food to be made because it's not made right there. And even if it was made right then, she would have something negative to say about it. Mm-hmm. And then apparently she had to put the items in the box herself, which was also a no-no. But if that guy did put his hands on it, she would go, "Get your gross." I'm not going to eat this because his gross hands are going to be on it.
She wasn't going to eat it either way.
But then she's like, "Oh, it's because you're lazy."
Rude.
F you, Mary.
Rude.
Get off your high privileged horse. You are the nastiest woman in America. I cannot stand you anymore. You are so inconsiderate and rude wherever you go.
Okay, I get the point, Missy.
He was asked to make it custom for her right then and there as they were like packing up. Mm-hmm. And he's not a server; he's a chef. A chef.
Yeah, but either way, if he brought it out, his hands. She would have had an issue.
No way to win.
And that's what I just can't stand. That's why I told you I don't want to ever meet her because she'll do something really nasty where I won't bite my tongue.
Well, once my wound is not so fresh, I'll probably feel different.
Listen, she's good television, but she's a horrible human. And saying something like that to somebody that's serving you is really just rude and inconsiderate and just shows that even if she would be irritated that God took too long to get the water over to her feet to wash, and it was probably too cold, too.
And I can guarantee it, if he did do an extra service, she wouldn't have tipped him.
No, she wouldn't have. No. So F you, Mary. Yeah. Read that again, Bear. Read that.
I saw it. I just got it in the corner in my peripheral vision. I was like, oh my gosh. Well, before they leave the party, Monica's like, listen, this is an old Utah rumor. Like, everyone around here has heard this rumor. Heather's heard this rumor. And
Heather's like, yeah, I heard it now that it's out.
Heather's like what we were all saying. Any male hairdresser has that said about them.
It's even us. Even we were like, oh, he's gay.
Yeah,
just because he's a hairdresser, which it doesn't mean anything. That's just us being stupid.
The real victim here is Lisa Barlow.
The real victim in this situation is Angie and me. It's my party.
That's true. 100%.
This was her party. This was her party, and they ruined it. She's the real victim here. Well, at least your party got plenty of screen time, sister.
I didn't see a lot of people there that weren't just housewives.
It was yikes. Well, at Angie K and Sean's mansion in the hills, do you believe that Angie K really hasn't already spoken to Hot Sean about this? Do you really think that she went to bed last night and didn't say something?
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like his emotions, his reaction is real, but it's hard for me to imagine that she's not getting a heads up about this before they film it. Last year we did find out from Whitney herself that she literally did walk in to Justin being there right after her session where she was like bringing back all these repressed memories. Yeah. So there really wasn't, that was real life. There wasn't a heads up about this. But it's really hard for me to believe that they went to bed and she didn't say anything. But again, if Elektra sleeps in their bed, she might not have had a moment with
That's true.
alone with them.
See?
Maybe that could be. I don't know. It's hard to say. Well, she fills him in on the rumor.
He's had to deal with this his whole life being a hairdresser.
But there's a little confusion here. Like, I feel like we got from Angie in the beginning, like, what? I'm so surprised this is being said. And then right here we're getting, this has been said for 30 years. Mm-hmm. Maybe the difference is, I guess, being said on camera.
It's just happening again, and somebody's spreading. Somebody that's supposed to be your friend is spreading these rumors, which they mean nothing. That's what I think she means.
And like on camera is the thing.
And they've been dealing with this for 30 years. I mean, I can't tell you. This could not have been the first time anybody has ever thought that he could have been gay.
Yeah, I just got a vibe of like shock from Angie K. But I guess the shock was really just that her friends were saying it on camera. Mm-hmm. Well, it made me laugh a little bit when she was like, infidelity is against our religion.
I was like, it's against everybody's religion.
It's against most religions for sure. That just kind of made me laugh. That's not like a bullet point as to why this is bad, you know?
Yeah. And family is number one. I'm like, that's with most religions, especially Mormons.
Well, Hot Sean gets really emotional just because he doesn't want their daughter to ever consider that he's the kind of guy who could step out on their mom.
Infidelity, yeah.
He's not the super dad that she thinks he is, and that.
But this is how toxic the male masculinity has been growing up for you and me and stuff. Because when Sean starts to cry, we're both like, "Oh, don't be gay."
Right.
Don't show your emotions. Don't cry. That makes you gay.
Don't be gay on TV.
That's gonna be gay, and because that's just the way it was growing up. It's like you don't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that.
Not that we really think crying is gay.
No, we don't. It's just.
we're gay. We cry. So
we do it. We do it. We say it out of like irony and just to show like how bad it was for us. Like how that's what our mental thoughts just were, and it's still ingrained in us.
I cry every day.
Well, Hot Sean says that Meredith is no longer welcome in their home after disrespecting him like that. Over at Monica's, poor little chap, he's sleepy. Yeah. You gotta let that poor little dog sleep. You gotta let him sleep.
He's like, but all that warm spot in the bed is gone.
I know. So Monica's real thing really is just like, I'm a poor single mother and it's hard.
And I want stability.
Yeah, that's really, any moment of her this season is mostly about that, except a little bit later when it's more about her and her mom again.
Story of my life.
I guess it's hard to realize that Monica really is as hands-on as a lot of these housewives are not. You know, I'm not saying Salt Lake City in particular.
No, but you just hear a lot of them like, gosh, it was just so hard dealing with our kids this weekend without the nanny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, or with a nanny.
So it's hard for me, I guess, just to remember sometimes that Monica is living the real hard mom life.
And even though her mom is there next to her, she's not much of a help.
No, she is.
She's kind of more of another kid, to be honest with you.
I'm good for 2 hours.
On the way to the school, we find out that Wesley, which is my older brother's name, and this sounds a lot like my brother right here, Wesley said the B word.
I was supposed to say boner.
But boner's not a bad word. That's what he meant to say.
So, boner is a much better word than bitch, Mom.
Yes, I know. He's like, I meant to say this. You're such a boner.
But the debate in the car amongst the little kids of if his boner is a bad word or not, and they're all saying boner as they're debating it. It's really funny.
Boner isn't a bad word.
Boner is a bad word.
What? Yeah, boner is literally a bad word.
Even the littlest one, she's like, yeah, boner's a really bad word.
I know, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, quit saying boner.
Yeah, the 4-year-old's saying boner now.
I know.
That's funny.
It kind of sounds like us.
That just goes to show our mentality. Well, over at the M. Vince Nail Salon.
My bear loves a mani-pedi.
I do.
You love a mani-pedi.
I especially love a pedi. But I like the whole combo. But if I'm want to be cheap and quick, I'll just get the pedi. So Jack Barlow has a beautiful young lady.
No, Jack. It's me, Jack, and I asked a girl to prom, and she said yes. So I'm wicked stoked.
Teenage boys are I would do that. If I was a teenage boy on TV, I would be doing the same. Heck, I did that up until I was like 30 something.
You still do it in some occasions.
In some situations, they're like, hey, what's up? So I can't hate on Jack for it.
I just love it. I think it's hilarious.
Lisa calls her version of the way she practices Mormon unorthodox, and I think that's the right way to describe it. She hasn't used that word. They've been calling it Mormon 2.0 all along, but she's kind of like, I'm not an orthodox Mormon, meaning I don't follow all the rules type of Mormon.
This is one of my favorite scenes from the franchise, though, with Lisa. When he says, like, she's like, so are you reading the Mormon book? And he's like, yeah, there's like a lot of it's action-packed, bro.
They can make a movie out of that.
It's action-packed, Mom. They can make like a movie out of it. And she goes, I can't believe he's read this book before I have. But from hearing about it, I kind of want to read it now, too.
I am an avid reader.
And I'm like, haven't you been going to church this whole time and hearing about the book? But it's because her kid is reading the book that she's like, okay, well, now I want to be a part of Jack's life in every possible way.
I grew up in a family that kind of required that I read the Bible, so it was a requirement, not a preference.
I read the Cliff Notes of the Bible, and what I mean by Cliff Notes is like, in like Sunday school when they hand you the piece of paper and you have to like fill in the wall from like the Jonas Brothers and the Whale or whatever, that thing. And so that's what I know. Like, I know little like pictures of the Bible that I know.
You know stories about the Bible. You don't know.
I don't even know the stories. I just know like a whale ate one of the Jonas Brothers or something.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
Well, I think that Lisa is not going through the temple ceremony because she'll feel obligated to wear undergarments. Don't you think? Because, I mean, listen, even people who have been through the temple ceremony, they'll drink Diet Coke.
Oh, yeah.
They'll do other things, but they do wear their undergarments. And you know that Lisa Barlow is not interested in messing with her fashion.
Amen, girl. But like I burn up so much. Like if they even told me,
you could never.
They're like, you have to wear undergarments. I'm like, only in the winter, right? Like no, in the summer.
They're like,
I
there's
would
that sweating Mormon again.
Just dripping.
That hairy, sweaty Mormon. Come to knock on our door again. Yeah, let me join that church.
Oh my gosh, I love this. All my favorite things.
Shut up.
Back over at Angie K's, Whitney and Lisa come bearing gifts. So, in Lisa's confessional, she has that hair that's with kind of like the half pony on top of the head and then cascading down the back. Meredith ends up having that same look. Shannon Bedore had that look for the OC. Like that, people are giving Lisa a little bit of a hard time about that confessional look, but I think it's in style. Everybody's doing it.
Well, if everybody's doing it, then let's everybody do it.
I think you should do it. I think when we come back from the break, you should have your hair like in a half pony up and then like a swoop down below.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
So Angie K tells them about her conversation with Hot Sean and their concerns for how it might affect Elektra. And Lisa, her first little dip into making this about herself is like, I just went through the same thing.
No.
And and Lisa, I mean, the rest of the scene is about Lisa. Lisa's been
about having to manage her real friendship with Lisa. She's in the middle.
Meredith, yes.
I mean, with Meredith,
Yeah.
she's in the middle right now.
Yeah, she wants to make it better with Meredith, but she recognizes Meredith's like formula.
Red flags.
Yes, and Lisa then throws it to Monica. Why is Monica saying so much stuff? Which I agree. Whitney really tries to protect Monica and be like, Monica was just trying to be a friend and tell Angie K this.
But she was the one that spread the rumor.
Yeah, she's the only one who said it on camera until Whitney repeated it. Or no, even Monica repeated it to Angie K.
Monica's going to have to burn for that.
Oh, I have a feeling.
I stand by what I said, 100%.
So Angie K asks Lisa about how she feels with Heather because they talked for just a moment at the Après No Ski party. Mm-hmm. And And then Angie K says, well, you know, Heather invited me over to her house and we had a really nice moment and really got past the past and we apologized to each other.
We painted birdhouses together.
Yes. And, you know, Heather felt bad for Angie K, in particular in Palm Springs when a lot of people were coming at her and Heather didn't have her back.
And was sad about it, and she opened up to her a lot during Palm Springs.
Well, you know, Lisa knows what it feels like to be piled on in an argument.
Oh, Lisa's so pissed. Lisa's so pissed. And triggered. She's is like, triggered and pissed.
Heather recognized what you went through? She invited you to her house? Where are my accolades of what I have made it through?
They came after my family and poor little Henry.
Poor Henry thought I was giving blowjobs for jazz tickets. And there's pictures of it.
And pictures of porn everywhere of me.
What
about me?
God.
What about me?
Like, they literally came over to comfort Angie K.
And
Lisa Barlow needed the comforting.
Lisa's now so triggered and so upset.
But don't you remember, I think it was like last season when they were gone somewhere where Heather and Lisa were sitting out talking and kind of making amends, and Heather even called Lisa Barlow, was very complimentary of Lisa Barlow, and I thought that they had...
But she did not invite her over to her house.
True, and maybe she didn't recognize specifically.
No, and she didn't sit her down and
Lisa has been
She
through.
blanketed an apology. That whore.
It is so upsetting to me.
But if Heather would have asked Lisa to paint
birdhouse,
that might not have been.
No,
she doesn't want to get on her couture.
I don't have an outfit for that.
Right. Well, Meredith has a 40-inch ponytail for snowshoeing. That's an outfit for that. What if she wore nothing but that 40-inch ponytail to go snowshoeing? Well, and snowshoes, of course.
Well, you would love that because apparently you are so straight now.
Right? So Meredith tells us about her car accident, but when they show it on the screen and they put that little title down in the bottom left corner, it says Meredith's car accident with accident in quotes. Are you suggesting that it wasn't all that bad?
Well, we've driven up that way. I think
It's
I know
scary.
which way they were going. It is scary, and it's not so much of a cliff. It's just kind of a hill that goes down in most of the spots that are pretty high up. But you also have to cross into traffic first and the guardrail before you go off the cliff. And also, they were kind of chilling in the back seats, probably where it was safest.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I feel like they were diminishing how scary it was. And how life-threatening it was.
And I don't know how scary it would have. How scary it was.
According to Meredith, it was life-threatening, and there's no other reason to believe otherwise. Okay. So I love that they're openly talking about Brooke's dating life right now. I'm happy that Brooke doesn't have to live in the closet anymore or just be afraid to talk about it.
Yeah, it seems it didn't turn out.
Meredith is presenting at the GLAAD Awards. You know, after how supportive she is of the LGBTQ community, I can't imagine that she would spread this rumor about Hot Sean
being a queerosexual.
Right around the time that this was happening, this is when you and I saw Meredith and Whitney at the
Equality.
The Utah Equality Gala. And they were presenting together, but they were totally on the outs on this time. But they looked all chummy on stage.
But I do love how this near-death experience has given Meredith a new outlook on life and what's really important. Because there's children out there that are going to be crippled for the rest of their life.
You know, right?
You know?
Right?
I mean, if she didn't already have that near-death experience, attitude change, this is definitely going to change it.
But if she would have known that Brooks was going to tell her that he gets stretched all the time,
I don't want to die. No.
Why did I not get killed in that car accident?
I don't want to hear it.
Right?
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. Do not say it. No.
I don't care to hear Brooks say it, but not to his mom. I'm not repulsed
no, that's
by
the
Brooks.
thing. No, it's his mom. I don't want to. I would never say that to my mom. I would never.
Read the room. The timing is not right.
Speaking of stretching out, over at the senior center.
Ew, what the I don't like where this is going.
On this place, you don't talk dirty.
I love that this grandma doesn't have to speak for herself. She doesn't have to talk. She doesn't even have to show any feelings because they just are talking for her, around her, through her, at her,
around her.
And she's just sitting there like,
She is not into this.
No,
she is
she
like,
is not.
why did you put me on camera? No one who is 106 years old wants to be on camera.
Okay, so senior citizen centers. Have you ever been to one?
Yes, my mom used to volunteer at nursing homes, and I used to go volunteer with her as a kid.
My mom made me used to volunteer too at them, and I couldn't get through the smell. And the last day that I did it, this old lady grabbed my glasses, spit all over them, then cleaned them, left half the spit on them, and said, "There, your glasses were dirty," and put them back on my face. And I cried the rest of the day because it scarred me so bad, and my mom never took me back.
Did it smell like hospital?
I don't want to even tell you what it smelled like because, yes, it smelled like hospital spit.
I know it has a smell. I smell everything though, so.
Monica pulls her mom to the side to grab some coffee, and Mom's wearing a Louis Vuitton scarf. Just wonder where Monica feels her insecurities about money. So, Monica's mom is dating someone close to her age. Was dating. When she's like, you know what? He invites her to a weekend getaway, and she's like, yeah, I'd love to go, but just so you know.
You ain't getting none.
Yeah, I ain't giving it up.
And he's like, I'm like in my 50s. If it's not a for sure deal.
Older than that, probably.
I'm not wasting my Cialis.
Heck yeah. Listen, I could stay home and masturbate and have more
I
fun.
could go down to the book theater or a hooker.
Well, even though her mom isn't Mormon anymore, she's really still trying to follow most of, I guess, the doctrine that works for her.
I also kind of feel like, you know how sometimes when people get older, all of a sudden they find faith because death scares them so bad, like their eternal soul. And so they come back born-again Christians, kind of.
But you know what? Every former Mormon that we've met, well, not every, I can't say, a lot of them still have that just moment just that little tiny spot in the back of their head of like, what if they were right?
Yeah, that small fear.
So even though you're not necessarily going to church, if you're still living what the life that you believe to be, forthright, righteous, then hopefully you'll still get into heaven if heaven exists.
Listen, if following a religion's going to make you feel like a better person and make you do better person things, then so be it. But it kind of seems like even her mom is like, we need to pray the sin away from your children now kind of attitude. And Monica's like, whoa.
She's like, Monica's like, well, don't insinuate that I'm not a good mom because I'm not taking them to church.
Yeah,
because you took me to church, but you weren't a good mom.
And I got knocked up at 19, so where did that all come from?
Right.
And it was this is a touchy subject for a lot of people that are in religion and out of religion.
I do believe that there is an extra built-in layer of respect for your parents. But if your parents aren't respectful back, then, if they don't show any form of respect back, then, like Monica here, kind of all bets are off.
Yeah. My mom took us to church all the time. And I got signed up for church camps by myself all the time. And they were some of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life. And some of the really good, and I've had some really good spiritual moments where I connected with friends, which was only one time. But, religion isn't for everybody, but I think religion does create a foundation block.
I grew up in church. I loved it. I loved parts of it. I hated parts of it.
Yeah.
I took away from it what I thought worked for me.
Yeah.
Well, Monica and her mom just keep kind of going on. They start talking about boundaries, and Monica's like, well, how about it if you walk into my house, you might see me 69ing. I was like, what?
Why can't you just say do it on the couch?
Oh, my gosh. And like, where are the kids, right? But listen, Nana is like, y'all don't like the way you're talking.
Not dirty here.
Well, it's because she apparently, her mom thought that the call dropped and she said some horrible, mean things about her daughter, about Monica.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you've hung up the phone.
Yeah, because, everyone said, F you, or I hate you.
When you're mad, you just want to get all the venom out, so you say it to yourself.
Yeah.
You say, I hate that person that you really love.
Well, I do have to be honest. I have never once ever heard my mom ever do that to me.
Well, no, because she's smart enough to hang up the phone.
Yeah. No. It's because I was the perfect child. My
I
mom
know
had
that's
nothing
not
to say
true.
about me.
I know that's
100%.
not true.
Let's call her.
It's a joy to be the spiritual leader of your family.
We end this episode with another skiing scene. We've had a lot. There's been so much snow last year that there's so much skiing
That's all
to do.
you could do was ski.
Right. Heather and Whitney immediately talk about Jack's mission. And Heather's like, I don't support the church's message. So I don't support Jack going out and spreading this message.
And recruiting more people to this church that's bad. For me, if I was Whitney, I would tell Heather, I'm like, you wrote a book about it. You got it out on public television to have an open conversation. You've already started something that that people need to now follow and lead at their own discretion. You can't force people to think the way you want to think. You've already done a huge step. Like that, you've already done something, Heather. Like, you don't need to keep Jack from doing it.
Right. Well, I mean, I do also understand Heather's like, wait a minute, Whitney, you felt so strongly about leaving the church. Why don't you have at least a feeling about Jack spreading the message? And Whitney's just like, you know what? Whitney should have said, you know what? I probably just don't think about Jack all that much. I probably, I've got other things going on in my life that I don't really care what Jack's doing.
I would have been like, that's not my fight. That's not my fight.
But let me tell you
I've already put this on television of me leaving the church and stuff. I'm already done what most people haven't done yet.
Yeah, no, true. Well, luckily, you can always leave it to Whitney to end an episode with some more tea. Oh, by the way, Lisa Barlow had a complete meltdown when she found out that you supported Angie K in a way that you've never supported her. Just FYI.
FYI, that's coming back to you.
Bye. End of episode. All right, so let's go drink down our peach manmosas.
Meow meows.
And
cheers.
We'll be right back.
Bye.
I'm so getting liquored up tonight.
This is Heather Gay from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and you're listening to the Real Housebears podcast.
And we're back. Ooh, they're coming for you, Barbara.
Actually, you're coming for Lisa Barlow.
Bitch, look at this hairdo, girl.
Shannon Medores
look at this hair.
Style.
Hair is so cute.
There you go.
So cute and so adorable.
You are Housewives fashion right there.
I can flip it around. Pull it to the side.
I feel really stupid.
So to be honest with you, I really don't care.
I'm a very well-educated man. I have a master's degree. I got out young. I have a great job. I'm great at my job. But sometimes I am so stupid.
Totally.
A few weeks ago, I was like, why is it a bodega so regularly? People call it bodega more often than I realize. And then I'm like, oh my God, Corey, you're so stupid. Sai is, Latinx heritage. So her family would definitely call it a bodega. I
thought bodegas were just big city small marts.
Well, specifically, remember the definition said something about, Hispanic or groceries types of things. So I was like, God, Corey, you're so stupid.
No comment.
Anyhow, I would like to go be stupid at a night at Swingers.
I do too. This looks like so much fun. That's what we do. Like on Valentine's Days, we go to swinging. We do swinging. I don't even know what you call swingers.
We go putt-putting.
Oh.
We go putt. For Valentine's Day, we go swinging. We putt oftentimes and do video games and arcades
games,
and things
Ski
like
ball,
bowling, things like that.
But we are seen inside Bryn's apartment. Is this the first time we've seen inside Bryn's apartment?
I feel like it. It's cute. It's absolutely cute. It's really funny. She's on the phone with her brother, and he's like, "There's this really drunk girl behind me." Drunk girl just got outed on Real Housewives of New York City.
Ouch.
Uba's photo shoot and that short haircut was so beautiful.
Yeah, Uba's gorgeous.
I mean, yeah, she's beautiful, but I loved her in that short hair. Well, over at Aaron and Abe's, Aaron FaceTimes with Sai, and Sai gets immediately into the lunch with Jessel.
Awkward lunch with Jessel.
Meanwhile, over at Jenna Lyons, of course, Brandon, the guy everybody wants to be, is there. Jenna's been hired for a brand in Scotland to go to Scotland and stay at a spa in Scotland.
Work.
That sounds...
The rich getting free rich stuff.
She's like, yeah. They're like, but if you talk about it, I mean, all we lost was really, the people that were working that day and the product that we used on you. Mm-hmm. So good for her. She's going to... But I guess couples night really wouldn't have been great for her anyway, had she, considering she's freshly single. So, Jocelyn Pavitt had sex, which we know. Jenna Lyons is very excited for her. So we have Sai and Aaron talking about Jessel, and we have Jessel and Jenna Lyons talking about Sai in particular.
Yes.
You're having too much fun with that hair.
Yeah, it's sidetracking me.
Okay, so I'll try to keep us on task.
Okay.
Jessel tells Jenna Lyons about the lunch. Jessel says she was like 15 minutes late.
Okay, both of them have different times that they say multiple times this one. Like,
well,
it's either like 25 or it's 40.
And then Sai tells Aaron that Jessel was 45 minutes late, which looks like it was more than like 40.
But wait, what was the real time? Wasn't it only 20 minutes late?
Yeah, Sai herself was late because it was supposed to be at 11.
Yeah.
Sai shows up at 11:20.
So
Jessel shows up at 11:40.
Yeah, so it's really wasn't barely like it changes multiple times this episode.
Yeah. So, at one point early in the conversation, Sai tells Aaron, I think that Jessel is just trying to find a way to relate to me. Yes, that's it right there. So why are you being so hard on her? That's all it is. All that's 100% is to say, hey, you know what? We have something similar in common. So maybe that can bring some camaraderie and build some, a relationship. But Sai is not... it just made me so angry that Sai was even able to recognize it, but is going in so hard.
I don't like it. It's not for me.
I think it's deeper down. I think it's a lot of jealousy issues.
I don't know. I don't... What is she jealous of?
About how she got a leg up in life and how she thinks that it was hard doing that when
maybe
Sai's like, my struggle was bigger than yours.
That could be. It could be. But when Jenna Lyons tells Jessel, it sounds like it's more meaningful for you to be understood.
100%.
Oh,
read her to death.
It sent chills.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't even a read.
It wasn't, but she read her perfectly. It was exactly what she was doing. She wants to be understood, and she wants to be able to find some kind of similarity.
Like when Sai says she doesn't care, what she really means to say, I think, is I'm really unbothered by it. We talked about it. I'm over it. I think that's what Sai is.
But Sai's not over it. She's talking about it constantly.
Well, because Jessel brought her to this lunch.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, if, Sai says more than once. If she would have just called me on the phone, it would have been over and done,
But even Jenna says, like, losing your mom is different than losing an uncle.
Yeah.
And I think that's what she's trying to say. Stop trying to compare yourself when this is completely different. Just acknowledge what happened.
Try to relate in a totally different way.
Yeah.
Find something else. Talk about fashion.
Don't start crying when you talk about your uncle that passed away.
So they're all wrong.
Everybody's wrong.
The way that Sai is treating her is completely wrong. And Jessel just needs to accept and understand that this is not the way that you're going to be able to relate. But then Sai talks about Vietnam. And,
oh God, Sai's on a warpath.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with Sai.
I feel like it's just she's trying so hard to keep her perfect image.
She's been really, I don't like to use the word aggressive. Aggressive is touching someone. But she's been very heated. She's been very elevated.
She's been very short.
And she's been, very
short.
Very
short with people.
And in particular with Jessel.
Very short fuse.
But she really does not buy that Pavitt is going to Vietnam for a mileage run or for a sandwich.
Lots can happen in 24 hours.
According to people, and so I've never had the money to be the kind of person that does a mileage run, But according to people on social media, it's way more common than I know.
And also, he found like a really good deal, finding out like from $15,000 to a $900 ticket. And when you do buy tickets like that, there's blackout dates.
Yeah, it's not as weird to any of the guys on the show. Mm-hmm. It's not weird to us.
Well, I'm back and forth on how it's weird and how it's not weird. But at the same time, like I'm not sus. I don't feel sus about it.
Yeah, I don't feel like Pavitt, as little as I know about him, I don't feel like he's the kind of guy who's like going over to having an affair in Vietnam.
Who was that guy on Watch What Happens Live that was on last night with the guy that wrote the book? But he was on the show and he talked about how he doesn't think Pavitt is cheating on her because he basically just said how Pavitt is so ugly. And I was like, geez, this guy's rude.
Well, Pavitt does not give off a sexual energy.
No.
That's for sure. The way he said it, Matt Rogers was his name.
Matt Rogers, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, Pavitt does not give off a real big sexual energy. But you know what? Even though I don't feel like Pavitt is the kind of guy to have an affair, I wouldn't be surprised if Pavitt is the kind of guy who gets prostitutes.
Yeah.
I would be like, yeah, no, that checks.
Or even just flirts with people.
Yeah. No, I would say he either does nothing or he gets prostitutes. I don't think there's anywhere in between. Over at Beatnik, this is Uba hot scene.
Uba.
Yes. Lucy and Jeff, the chef, they're going to create a dish based on an Uba hot seasoning there at the restaurant. Uba has recently discovered pretzel bread.
I love pretzel bread on a burger.
Let's do a silence for the pretzel bread.
Girl, you can go to Wendy's and get pretzel bread.
Honey.
And then Uba makes this like make it rain analogy where she is Uba Hot's sugar mama. I'm like, are you really just saying that you're pouring all of your money into Uba Hot? Is that what you're saying? All of your modeling money is going straight into Uba Hot.
I don't know what Uba is wearing in her confessional, but I hate it.
Oh, the one with all the belts?
Oh, I hate it.
I like it.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it.
Ugh.
I love it, I love it, I love it.
Over at Si's Brownstone, we get a scene where they really do have spent some time recently giving Sai some humanity. Mm-hmm. Like the scene with her daughter last week. Now we have the scene with Aunt Sophia, which her name was Sufia instead of Sofia. I've never seen that before, but thought that was lovely. I also thought it was hysterical, the story about mom wearing the peluca, the wig.
The wig, yeah. I spent like 12 hours trying to get it fit, like perfect.
And I thought the book of her mom's art was lovely.
Cute.
Yes. Over at Dita Eyewear NYC, we see Ariel. She has risen from the ocean and
lost her hair.
She now, presents herself as a male and is managing Dita Eyewear.
Yeah, you guys are talking about the manager. You are so stupid. You are so stupid. Oh my gosh, Bear.
Jenna Lyons gets herself some blue frames. I think it was for $750.
There was one that was $650, one that was $750. Either way,
I think
Beckett's for
$650.
I want to be her son and just get spoiled and be like, and act like I'm not spoiled.
She just she's obsessed with him. She loves him so much. She just thinks he's the greatest thing ever. And even without a mom being wealthy, that's just not all moms really dote on you like that.
My mom did that stuff to all of her grandkids, not to us, but she did to all the grandkids. Wow. Like she spoiled the hell out of them.
Yeah, that's what being a grandparent's for.
But us, like, man, we got
because you were
nothing.
Monsters.
I was so adorable.
Oh, listen, I've heard the stories.
Yeah, the lies.
I've heard the stories about you being a swinger.
No, yes.
No, I haven't, actually.
I'm not into swinging. Well, I could be.
You're a prude. No, you couldn't. Aaron and Abe arrive first at Swingers. Aaron orders a very specific drink, but I didn't think it was that obnoxious. She's like, are you going to hate me? And I was like, I don't think it's that, too specific of a drink.
Oh, the special orders that you give. My goodness, you wouldn't.
Whatever.
I feel embarrassed. They're going to spit in our food now.
Y'all, he's totally lying about that.
Let the drinks fly.
Sai ate before she came.
I want food and I want drinks.
You know, on Jeff Lewis Live the other day, Aaron was like, even Sai is tired of hearing herself talk about food on this show. Well, we all are. Aaron has to break the news that it's generally just going to be Aaron, Sai, and Jessel. Uba's coming later. But Sai's like, I don't really care about this whole Jessel situation. But does she? Cyan and Aaron encourage their husbands to get to the truth about Pavitt, about the Vietnam situation. Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, we'll do it if it gets us some. And Aaron's like, nope. I did my duty this morning.
We got a blowjob. That's a big deal.
It's so funny because I would 100% have given you this line. Like, you're fine. You're good for a week or so. You're good. You got a BJ. You're fine.
I'm with Abe. It's never enough.
Oh my
never enough.
Exhausting.
The only time I'm not thinking about sex with you is when I'm having sex with you.
You are
Actually, when I'm having sex with you, I'm already thinking about the next time I'm going to have sex with you.
See, you don't appreciate while you're there.
I'm just excited for it.
I'm not going to give it to you anymore.
I just can't use all my stuff at once, you know.
I just want it all the time.
Jessel and Pavitt arrive.
Tension.
She's like, maybe it's because I dress better than her. And I'm like, I don't know. You both dress great. You both dress very differently.
You know that Law and Order show? Dun dun. Now I hear tension.
Maybe the
tension.
The music builds tension.
Tension.
Oh my gosh. David makes a really stupid joke about my wife. What was it?
He says that he's like, "Are you guys going to eat with me? I don't want to be the only one eating alone." Abe says that. And it was like, "Oh, I thought my wife was sitting over there." And he's like, "What?"
Yeah.
Apparently, like,
no.
wanting to eat alone.
And then later on, he does a toast to getting away from the women. I'm like, quit these stupid douche guy jokes.
There's two people that don't know how to handle themselves in front of the camera. One is David, the other is Pavitt. When you see Pavitt, like, he is hyper aware that the cameras are on him at all times. You could see him glancing at the cameras all the time.
Because he's nervous that Jessel's going to beat him after the cameras leave.
You can't say
I mean, not
anything
physically. I'm not saying, figuratively.
Maybe. We don't know.
No, but David needs to be slapped a little bit. So Abe gets, like, Pavitt, tell us about this Vietnam situation. So it really does make sense. These tickets were a steal.
And on top of it, he'll get the miles on it to take the kids out to an even cheaper thing.
Which that was
my issue was, you know how expensive first class tickets are? But if you got them for like a fraction of what it was, then it makes sense.
Yeah.
That on top of it, you're also getting your miles.
Yeah, and
that's a lot of miles.
Like, so really it just comes down to, it just gives me some time to myself.
And also, everybody back off. Like, get off of my nuts.
It's not, again, the guys are unfazed by it. The women are all convinced it's
women
sketchy.
are convinced that he's cheating.
What happens in Vietnam stays in Vietnam.
Here is where some of the confusion starts to happen. At one point, Jessel said that Pavitt is going in a week. Another time, she said he's going in a few weeks, and now it's not booked at all. Pavitt's waiting for the flight to open back up.
Yeah.
So this comes back to bite them for no good reason whatsoever. But in the meantime, Sai steps away. Aaron asks Jessel if she's okay, and Jessel's like, well, not really. Sai just keeps going in on me, and I was just trying to be nice. I was trying to,
relate.
And she was having none of it. And then the guys go off and play putt pipe by themselves, and that's when David makes the toast to getting away from the women. And I noticed that Abe did not engage with that. He didn't reply. He didn't clink.
There's one point when
he likes Aaron.
There's one point when the guys fist bump, and Abe's like, "Oh yeah, totally, dude!" Like totally like mocking them. Fist I love Abe so much because it's so, like funny. I think that's so. When he said that to be away from my wife, I'm like, when I'm at a party, that's the one person I want to be next to is my husband.
Yeah.
I have so much fun with him.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sai comes back and joins Jessel and Aaron, and they readily admit, well, we were talking about the lunch. And Sai's like, yeah, that strange lunch, that was the weirdest day of my life. It could have been a phone call.
So late for pissed me off.
So Sai tries to say that she wasn't really bothered in Anguilla. She's like, out of all the things in Anguilla, do you think that I came back worried about that thing? And then we just hear more of you talk in circles. You don't make sense. But Sai's like, and I was offended.
I was actually offended, to be honest.
That you brought up my mom, and I was like, oh, come on. If you are going to talk about your mom and in the group, then you can't be offended that Jessel tries to relate to you about that situation.
I feel a lot of this is Sai reaching. Sai's reaching for a lot of different reasons.
Sai's mad about something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, she's had an edge to her all season long, but there's something like she's going hard. And Jess is like, I'm not trying to like create similarities. I'm just trying to put us on a, have conversations where we can relate to each other.
I'm trying to make you guys understand who I am too.
Saved by Uba. Saved by Uba.
She breaks the tension. Thank God. She starts doing her Uba stuff, her Uba thing fun, and then Sai's like, sit down, Uba, we're talking and you're distracting.
I have forgiven Uba. I haven't forgotten quite yet, but I have forgiven. She brings good energy.
I am so excited.
When Aaron explains to Uba, everyone has a drunk uncle or a drunk cousin, I was like, you know what? When you put it that way,
my uncle,
it makes more sense.
I have a drunk
as to why Sai and Aaron don't really get it. When you put it that way, it makes me view it all different. You're right. You know what? Everyone does have a drunk uncle. There are SNL skits about drunk
uncles. Yes.
Okay, fine. Sai's like, be real, be honest. And just like, I've literally never lied to you. And Sai's like, well, you lied to us about this timeline of tickets. And this is when I got mad. I was like, circumstances just changed, Sai. It's not that hard to understand. And also, it wasn't a lie.
And also, why is that? Like, why would she have to lie about that? How is that affecting you in any way possible form? That her line about the date that he's going to leave on a trip is affecting you in any possible way. And if she's going to lie about something, why lie about that? What is she gaining?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it. This is where I'm like, okay, Sai's just reaching.
Sai's
pissed off about multiple things that she doesn't even know about anymore.
Yeah.
And now that she's gone so gung-ho, she can't backpedal.
It's a way for her to validate the way she's behaving.
Ooh, there you go.
That's exactly. Yes. Oh, I can say that she lied about that, and now it's for me for acting like that.
That's like me lying about when I brushed my teeth.
Right.
Like, I brushed my teeth an hour later. I'm sorry I didn't brush my teeth.
Well, I know that we don't have any water, so I know you haven't even brushed your teeth yet.
Wow.
Just kidding. I do agree with Jessel, though. Sai is kind of being a mean girl. I don't feel like Aaron is being as much of a mean girl as Sai is.
I feel mean girl is a very good equivalency to just being a bully. Like, for boys, it's bully. Girls can be bullies, and when you say that you're being a mean girl, you are being a bully. I don't care who's really saying it. If they feel that way, you're being a bully.
And Jessel says what she's already said before. When I do try to open up, all you do is attack me, you and your parrot, Aaron. And meanwhile, the parrot's over there with her mouth closed. Or chit-chat with Uba. But they really just kind of close it down. They're like, literally, there's just like done. But Jessel says, you haven't seen this bitch come out yet.
That's why I think she's sitting next to Andy at the reunion.
Well, yeah. Well, but so is Aaron. I'm really excited to find out what happens next week. Jessel, actually, Sai goes and joins the guys.
And ruins the time, their 100%. Time, like ruins it, like what, like this, like I didn't even know what the guys were doing, but the second she walked up, you could feel everyone go,
right. Especially David, who clearly likes to talk about his wife, and
obviously, and the Vince just so glad to be away from the people accusing him.
Yeah, David might have won that dinner with Sai and Aaron and Abe and David, but he's lost.
He's lost it, yeah.
So Sai comes back and joins and says, we hear it all again. I didn't want to be at the lunch. You were late. You lied to me about Vietnam. Blah, 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 blah.
You lied to me about Vietnam when your husband's going to Vietnam. Like, just saying that out loud sounds so stupid.
Oh, it's ridiculous. But almost as ridiculous is Dave asking Uba why she's single. You never ask a single girl why she's single.
Why
single person.
No, why she's always single. Why don't you have a man yet? Like,
why aren't you in a serious
relationship?
relationship?
Why aren't you in a serious relationship?
You don't ask any single person that.
There's a lot of people out there that don't need that kind of relationship out there to feel complete.
Can't, David.
My nephew's like that.
You need to cut off his liquor and take him home, y'all.
Stop. Yeah, everyone, shh.
So Uba asked the guys when they thought their bitches were the one. And drunk David, I've never met a woman in my life who's more honest than my wife. Plus, we laugh all the time.
Like, I get the laugh every time, but is that really why you love somebody? Is just because they're so honest? Like, there's so many different things to love somebody. Like, I would just hope that comes with the territory. I mean, there's so many.
He said that for the camera.
He makes me laugh every day. Every single second that I wake up and see his face next to me, it brightens my whole day, and I feel lost when I'm not with him. You know, like, there's so many different things to say.
Abe likes someone who can keep him honest, who he can have an exciting life with, including sex. Abe and I are so much alike.
You guys aren't allowed to hang out.
Pavitt wants to also live an exciting life, and she's the perfect partner for that. It was vague. I'm not going to lie. It was vague. If I had a transcript of it, I think it would technically
You could highlight some things I think
it would technically say they do it together. But it was vague enough and probably in a loud enough space that it sounded like he said, she lets me live my life.
When I was done hearing it, I was like, oh yeah, so you could do everything by yourself. Like, I guess she lets you do whatever you want. That's why you like her.
I mean, I remember the moment that I knew that you were the one.
Oh, God.
When I just knew that I wanted to feel all the things in life with you.
That was great.
Ugh.
So, but here's the deal. Jessel doesn't care about anything that Pavitt does. She does say that. She's like, he can come and go as he please. She does say that. So that doesn't help what it sounds like he said.
Mm-hmm.
But if Pavitt goes to strip clubs, that means Pavitt has some sort of libido. And if Pavitt is not having sex for an extended period of time, he's either beating it till it almost falls off, or he's going to Vietnam and getting prostitutes.
I didn't say anything, but you heard it here, folks.
I mean, why else do you go to a strip club?
To get your stuff rubbed up against.
Because you're horny.
Cheers. 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 Cheers to being away from our wives. Cheers.
Uba tells Sai about her secret boyfriend, but it was just like a moment and then it was gone.
I love it that she just like flashes to her picture. And Uba gives the most gay man answer about, they're like, what's in your phone? And she's like, delicious. It's delicious. If you ever get a gay man's phone,
You'll go blind.
Yeah, if you look through their pictures, you're going to go blind from dick and butthole.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the same for lesbians. Or if it's like
boobs.
Like boobs.
And badge.
Yeah.
I think boobs are like the first step. I think that's the first
I would
step.
have to be, right?
Yeah.
It's the first, so that's so easy.
I mean, like a torso pic for a
It's
guy.
like I always show my balls first, and then I show the rest.
Who are you showing this to?
That's how I got you.
Well, over at Jessel's apartment in Chelsea, Bryn is going to have a creative black tie birthday party.
Just get freaky, just do whatever you want.
With Venetian masks.
I love her.
Sounds like an orgy.
Yeah. Eyes wide shut scenario.
The husbands are, especially Abe the Babe, are invited. Jessel feels... So we've got Jenna Lyons there, and we've got Bryn there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Pavitt walks in the middle of it all. So Jessel fills them in on the situation with Sai. You know, Jenna Lyons really is the voice of reason. Jenna Lyons does...
She explains it very...
She eloquently says everything that we're all thinking, you know? So Jessel says that Sai was saying all of these mean things to her, like calling her names like a diva. And Jenna Lyons asks Pavitt, is she a diva? And he says, no, but Sai is bipolar. And you can feel all of the air leave the room.
You can see Brent's face. She goes, ooh.
They really
save him.
They do some damage control right on the spot. And do all of them explain it away so that he is not immediately canceled.
And then he backpedals and says, well, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I mean, it's him carelessly saying that Sai flips the switch.
He's not okay on camera. He's constantly...
Because he's awkward.
He's like awkward. Looking out of the corner of his eye. He's like, I'm being filmed. I
mean, there was something to Matt Rogers being like, look, it's Pavitt.
It's Pavitt, right?
So they also talk about the Vietnam confusion.
Okay, wait. Pavitt lost his ring 2 weeks into the marriage, and you guys still haven't replaced it? That's sus to me. That is very sus to me. Sus is the word.
The more
today.
that we talk about it, maybe...
It makes me it's very suspicious that he doesn't have a ring since then. If I was a husband and I lost my ring, I would want it replaced not only because I want jewelry, but I also because it's my connection to you.
Yeah.
And it shows that I'm married to people. So I have if I take it off, I get the tan line. So there's no way you could really cheat. But Pavitt, he doesn't even have even a holder ring.
No.
You guys are rich. You guys could get a cheap little ring for him to lose.
I think they just don't I don't think... She calls him her best friend, but it doesn't seem like she really likes him a whole lot.
I don't think they get along very well together.
But Bren brings up Aaron Bren brings up that Aaron brought up that Pavitt wasn't wearing the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron said on Jeff Lewis Live, she's like, man... If I knew then what I know now, I would know what to say and what not to say and how things can be misconstrued. Because really what happened was I heard a producer talking about Pavitt not wearing a ring. So I was just saying that. I was just saying something that I heard a producer say. And now it's relayed that I said it to Bren, And also Aaron told her about... Pavitt saying, Jessel lets me do whatever I want. But Bren is turning into Mama Bear here. She's like, listen, Jessel, don't take their crap.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, if you don't take their crap, they're going to respect you.
Yeah, just go up to her and be like, stay the F out of my business. My gosh. I won't even talk about my business anymore. Just shut up.
Right?
And maybe Sai would be like, okay.
Yeah. So next week is the season finale.
Oh, thank God, y'all. We can't do these 2 episodes very much any longer.
These 2 episodes a week are killing me.
Especially the last weeks of travel. Oh my God.
But we're here. We're queer.
And we're doing this podcast.
And we're on social media. On Facebook and Instagram, we are The Real Housebears. On Twitter, X, we are Real Housebears. And you can email us at therealhousebears@gmail.com.
You can also buy merch, spooky merch, on our Redbubble site, realhousebears.redbubble.com. Work. And you can watch us on YouTube in Spookavision and also on Spotify on Spookavision. And you can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a cute little rating and a nice little review. And we will make you hashtag HouseBearsFamous. Or you can just walk up to us on the street and say hi to us, because apparently we're just throwing away HouseBearsFamouses now.
I guess.
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
There we go. The spooky.
Well, the sound check is on, so let's go ahead and do that.
Spooky sound check. Ghost.
I'm doing my Halloween.
That's cool.